Hello everybody and welcome to my very first Sims related video. Today I'm going to be showing off this new house I built. I built it for my own legacy family. I say legacy very loosely because I don't play by specific legacy rules. I kind of just do what works in my gameplay and whatever I want to achieve with my Sims. The house is on the 64 by 64 lot in Brindleton Bay. It is 700 and something simoleons, so it's very expensive. But it's wow. He's angry. He's like, I'm not cleaning this big house. It's too much work. It's expensive because it's pretty much got everything that your family could need. Now, I'm already on generation 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm on generation 6, yes. Lizard Lady was the matriarch. My Sims have weird names. Anyway, so it's got plenty of things for your Sims to do skill building activities, for them to have a good time. It's great for raising toddlers and children and babies and all of that. So let's dive in. So hang on, let me turn on all the lights quickly. I don't know why I turned them all off. There we go. So, let me put the walls up. So you walk in and, oh, I didn't know it did that. Let's pretend that doesn't do that. You can remove the wreath if you don't like it. But it's sort of more of like a very American style home, I suppose. I had a reference picture, I'll throw it up on screen now, when I was building this. And so anyway, you walk in and there's plenty of shoes because there's a big family living here. And immediately there's, skill building stuff, pianos, and there's a huge kitchen. Technically it could be classed as a kosher kitchen because there's 2 stoves. There's 3 fridges, which might have been a bit extra of me. But Anyway, I tried to keep clipping to a minimum. Of course, there's, from front on, it's not too bad, just that little bit over there. And so basically the reason I did this in the kitchen is so that, when your Sims wake up in the morning, that they can all be in one room, that they can all socialize, because my Sims' social needs tend to struggle when I'm focusing on one specific Sim rather than all of them. So it's just a good way of having them all in one room. And then there's a bathroom downstairs as well. And then there's sort of not a pantry, like a utility room, and this is also where they had their Christmas decorations and stuff, and just, the laundry and like a secondary kitchen. You could turn this into a butler kitchen if you wanted to. So yes. And then moving on through the hall, the first room to the right is the living room. And I tried to make this a family-friendly space, so there's a space for the adults to converse and for them to watch TV and stuff like that. And then in the back of the living room, there's also a kids' space and the family computer. There are multiple computers in this house, and some of the computers have to do with like career rewards. So, for example, there's the computer that you get in the science career, because one of my Sims was a scientist. So some of the things in this house are a little bit niche and tailored to my needs, but I think that the house has great potential for other people wanting to, have a big house for their legacy family to live in, but don't want to invest the time into building it, because let me tell you, this house took a long time to build. I worked on this for days. And I'm never doing it again. But anyway, so there's just like a sort of toddler kiddie space at the back here. And plenty of space for animals. My Sims have a dog. They have had multiple dogs in their past, but they died. And I couldn't be bothered to play with more dogs than the one I currently have. Um, but that might change in the future. So there's plenty of space for more than one animal. Um, it is more geared towards dog owners, but of course there are plenty of nooks and crannies in the house where you can fit in cat beds and cat scratching trees or whatever they're called. um, so yes, and then you move through into the dining room. Um, yes, I don't really have much to say about it. It's a very green room. I don't have all the expansion packs. I think I'm missing like a third of them. So there's a lot of base game stuff and there's a lot of cats and dogs stuff in this house. So yes, and then you can see that there's the career reward radio in the living room, and that's because one of my Sims is a musician, and so he unlocked that. So there are a few unlocks, and if you like legitimately getting them, then I suggest just deleting them when you place the lot. I would also suggest placing this lot with the move objects on sheet already enabled, because there are some things that go off the lot edge, like for example this and these trees. Um, so yes, and then across from the dining room is a big study. You could of course repurpose this room into, I don't know, an extra bedroom or what have you. But I basically just tailored it to my lawyer Sim's needs. He's a lawyer, and so I figured he'd want a nice big office. Anyway, then on the ground floor as well is the garage. Now, because we don't have cars, obviously I just decided to put them outside. These are just the debug cars, so they don't add to the cost of the property. Um, but so I just decided to make this a bit of a skill building space. And I also, didn't go heavy on the decorations or anything. There's a gap here because my sim is going to unlock something and I'm going to put it there. So I just left a little gap there. If you don't like that, you can, put this more towards the center of that gap if it really bugs you. Um, so anyway, I wanted to have, just a general skill building space for my sims, and kind of put it out the way so that it's not in the main house necessarily, because this kind of stuff can get a bit chaotic, and there are some fire hazards in this garage. So I also wanted that to be away from the main building a little bit. Although the plants, I don't know if plants in The Sims can catch on fire. I hope not. But anyway, so you have basically anything that your Sims could need, from the DJ and entertaining booth and sort of area, all the way to like a woodworking area, for juice fizzing and um, flower arrangement and all sorts of stuff. And then there's also the little robotic station, which I actually haven't used yet. I was thinking of making someone in my next generation be into robots. Anyway, then moving around the side of the house is the pool, custom stairs. They're not so pretty on the outside of the pool, but you don't really have to see that, so I didn't think it was too big of an issue. Anyway, then moving on, there's sort of a little zen area in the garden, right next to the observatory thing. Just for, some meditation and yoga. But if you don't like that, you can obviously, repurpose it. And then the backyard's a little bit chaotic, I think, because my Sims need a lot of these sort of weirder items, like the rocket ship, which obviously is not normal to have on a residential lot in real life, but had to put it somewhere. So technically you could also, create like under the swimming pool, a sort of secret lair styled rocket ship space, and pretend like the swimming pool would open up for it or something. That could be cool. But of course, I didn't think that far when I was building this, because I was like 10 hours in by the time I placed this, and I was just like, let me just put it anywhere. Anyway, aside from that, it's quite a toddler friendly space with, the paddling pool and outdoor activities, and I really like that this tree lights up at night. I actually didn't know that. And then I found out it does, and I was like, ooh, I need that. Anyway, and then there's a little garden area. Now, if you don't really want this sort of birdhouse, just inanimate object, you could always replace it with a bug house. In my last legacy house, I had a bug house because I accidentally did the biofuel upgrade on that toilet and it set on fire 3 times. And so then I finally figured out that it didn't just sort of auto empty and that I actually had to interact with it. So I had to get them a bug house. But in this house, I will not be doing any bio upgrades. I think there might be solar panels on the roof. Let me just check. Oh no, there aren't. Well, either way, there's plenty of room on the roof to add solar panels if you want a more eco footprint. Oh, look, the birds. Little birdies flying over the house. It's such a beautiful view from this house. It's so awesome. I love it. Anyway, um, so yes, that's the ground floor, and then I kind of went whole. I kind of went ham on the landscaping. It can be a little bit laggy if your computer isn't excellent or sort of up to speed. I mean, I have all of my graphics settings on high, so you might not want to do that. Where is it? Graphics here. So with this house, I suggest maybe not doing that if you don't have a high-end PC. I don't have the highest end PC. My PC is sort of a mid-range one. But it's not too bad because The Sims 4 is much more lightweight than The Sims 3. Because I came to The Sims 4 from The Sims 3, I've actually only been playing for a couple of weeks now. Because I played it back in 2016 when there was nothing, and I hated it. So I was finally convinced to get back into playing it, and I'm so glad I did. But anyway, and then there's just like a little doggy training ground in the front of the house because I didn't really need to put fencing around the lot, seeing as it's on that private estate kind of lot in Brindleton Bay. So yes, then moving upstairs, I'll go to the basement last. So yes, moving upstairs is where most of the bedrooms are. There are some in the basement, but sort of the main ones are up here. Now, first there's the baby room, or nursery, I suppose. Baby room, why did I say that? Anyway, and there's just room for one baby, but you can always, delete this sort of nook and put another crib in there if you wanted to. But I really wanted a bedroom that would separate the babies from the toddlers for me because I don't like playing with babies. I hate it. They are so boring. They are just objects in cribs. And so yes, I agree with Plumbella on that point. I recently watched her video talking about how The Sims is objectifying babies, and it was quite funny. But she does make a fair point, and I do hope that they bring proper babies to the game because I think that could be some quite fun gameplay. Anyway, the ceilings are quite high, so the mobile thing is quite high up. But just pretend it's not. If you have other packs, and I don't know if they come with other mobiles that might be longer or something, then go for it. I almost put in the one that sort of hangs from the wall with the little fishies, but I decided against it because I wanted this in the corner and it doesn't really go on a corner, so sort of semantics or what have you. And then I made like a fake little baby changing station because in The Sims 3, in the what's it called, Aurora Skies, in that world, you got the daycare building, and it came with a baby changing station. And I just thought that would be sort of a more realistic touch, and it's just like a move objects placed ottoman raised up a few levels, raised up a few times to make it look like you could put the baby on there and change its nappy and stuff like that. Anyway, then I didn't really know what to do in the hallway. I kind of lost the will to live by the point I got to that, so it's a bit bare. You'll have to forgive me for that. But there's plenty of room here if you want to upgrade it, shall I say. I kept it kind of minimal out here because I sort of focused more on the bedrooms. And actually, speaking of bedrooms, what are you doing in here? Tablecloth. He is in the master bedroom for some reason. I actually kind of pictured that this painting here might be of him in a sepia tone, so you can't tell that he has green skin. Anyway, my Sims are all sort of hybrid alien mixtures. And then moving into the bedroom, you have the main bedroom. You have just sort of a simple theme. I was kind of inspired by Carrie's new apartment in Sex and the City with big, the big one where she has the walk-in wardrobe.
Hello. I live here.
I drew that as inspiration for this. I can't say I really did it justice, but I tried. Anyway, then the walk-in wardrobe, I had to do some strange things with cabinets because I really don't like the color swatches for these what is it, Moschino stuff? I think so. Or movie stuff? One of those packs. These walk-in wardrobe items come with that, and I didn't like the golden embellishments because these Sims aren't that fancy. It's more of a country house and less of a fancy like penthouse. And speaking of, I actually just noticed I forgot to put blinds there. Maybe I should just put blinds quickly. Switching into build mode, sometimes the house lags a little bit. It's not too bad. So, do I like that? Oh, no, I don't. I would prefer one like this, I think. I'm so indecisive. That's also why this took me so long to do. Anyway. So yes, it's just like a basic built-in wardrobe. Oh, there we go. Style situation. There's a little bit of clipping there, but because I'm assuming you don't play in this room that often, it shouldn't be too noticeable. I really tried to keep the clipping to a minimum because it annoys me personally. So I figured, if I ever decided to share this house, because I really didn't know if I wanted to for a long time, because I thought, is it that good though? And then I ended up being quite proud of it, so I thought, maybe. Anyway, so the clipping in here isn't great, but let's just pretend that's not there. Anyway, you can always take out one of these little ottoman things and put in that little pedestal thingy that came with the acting career, I think, if you need that for your Sims. I just think in that room it might make the most sense out of all rooms, although I do have some interesting rooms in the basement. Anyway, then there's just the 2 bathrooms on this floor. In total, there are, I think, 4 bathrooms? Full bathrooms? Yeah, I think they're all full bathrooms. Anyway, so there's, the ensuite with a his and hers sink. And then there's the, sort of shared bathroom for the kids and anyone that you decide to place in the other bedrooms. And you can always extend the sink, there's plenty of space. I did put a radiator in all of the rooms just because, I like that aesthetic. But if you don't, you can just delete them and, use the room for more important, less inanimate things. Anyway, then this is the room I'm most proud of, the Toddler's room. I built them these like custom bed things. This room probably took me the longest out of any individual room. Just trying to get it to look how I wanted it to, with that lived-in vibe, and so I think I accomplished that. There's plenty of space on the walls for you to add your custom drawings. My Sims actually brought some when they moved, so I might put some in there for you. Let me just, here we go. I'll put one there, that makes sense. Let me just sorry, this wasn't supposed to be a building video. I just realized that I have not finished what I wanted to do. Also, I have had to put some, those hidden lights in some of the rooms, just because the rooms are so cavernous at times that it was hard to fill them properly with lights without it looking stupid. So, yes, that's what I resorted to. Anyway, I don't think it's too bad. What are these? Oh, those are just some paintings. I might put some custom paintings in when I upload it, but I don't know. I think the walls are pretty full. I'm quite happy with the paintings that I chose. Albeit, there's some repetition with them because I don't have every pack. But I don't think it's too noticeable, just in, regular gameplay. I mean, of course, if you're a builder, then you might be screaming at me right now. But yes, I'm quite happy with the place. Anyway. So they have the big, like, hospital style. Is it a hospital? It's got a jacuzzi. I don't know. Is it like a penthouse? Anyway, they have that doll's house in their bedroom. I specifically wanted to make the space sort of live-inable. That's not a word, but anyway, I wanted to make it livable. That's a word. Sorry. I wanted to make the toddler's room livable for at least two toddlers because for a while my Sims kids were both toddlers at the same time because they had them quite close together. Anyway, and then there's just like a little chair here for, mum or dad to sit in at night and read them to sleep and, stuff like that. I put a desk in because I don't know. If that doesn't make so much sense to you, then you can take it out and put some more skill building or activity kind of stuff there. Um, Now I'm noticing it doesn't really make much sense in a toddler's room, but I did try to put desks in every bedroom, so it's just kind of a weird habit of mine. I don't know if it's normal or not anyway. So yes. And then moving on to the next bedroom is the sort of teenager style, maybe boys' bedroom. Um, I decided he might be a gamer or something, so I kind of scaled up two TVs, scaled up, moved up two TVs so that they, looked like monitors and gave him a little, what is that? Oh, that's a gaming console. Anyway, I scaled that up to make it look like a computer station, even though he has a laptop, but we don't need to talk about that. Anyway, he has a lava lamp, which I was dying to put in this house somewhere. I needed them to have a lava lamp because when I was little, I would have killed for one. I always wanted one, but I was never allowed to have one. Again, the clipping with these blinds is not great, but I'm sure that if anyone is even watching this, you will probably know how to fix that better than me because I've only actually been playing The Sims 4 for 3, maybe 4 weeks now, properly. Um, it took a lot of convincing for me to get back into this game. I am glad I did, but yes. Anyway, so you probably know more tips and tricks for stuff like that than I do because I just gave up with them. I had no idea what I was doing. Um, but yes, anyway, then because he's, a boy, I thought, oh, he might be a little bit careless with his clothes. He has this big wardrobe. Oops, excuse me. He has this big wardrobe situation, and so I thought, oh, maybe when his mother comes in, to check if he's put his clothes away, he might hide them under the bed, or he might chuck them at his oh, what's it called? At the thing you put your dirty clothes in. I can't think of the word right now. Oh my god. Anyway, so maybe he's a little bit of a troublemaker. Anyway, so I just thought that room was fitting for a teen boy. And then next door is the pink room. It was not supposed to end up this pink, but it did. And I'm kind of not too sad about it. I would if I were still, little, I would have loved this room. This would have been my dream room. Except I would have had an enormous doll's house instead of a desk. I would have begged and pleaded until I could have had the biggest one. But that's unrealistic. Anyway, it's a big room and it's pink and I don't really know what else to say about it. I'm trying to give you as best a look of it as I can. I kind of went overboard trying to use this painting in every build since I got that expansion pack that it came in. So you might find it in a few places about the house. I can't say I really noticed when I was building it, so I'm sorry about that. But yes. So then moving down, you walk in through this door and this goes into the basement. Now, if you don't like how creepy this hallway is, you could always make it an extra tile wider, cut into this bathroom a little bit, and make it more sort of a bit less of a disturbing staircase because I don't really mind that. I kind of like the sort of almost like Parasite inspired creepy basement area. Not quite as creepy as their secret basement kind of thing. I mean, I think that movie's been out long enough that I can talk about that now. Yeah, yes, I think so. Anyway, so they just have like that hanging light bulb in here. But if you think that that's stupid, I 100% understand, and you have my full permission to completely change it. Anyway, so going down, you have, some storage, like maybe, they ran out of room in here, and so they also store some stuff down here, and these shelves are pretty empty. I think you can actually place stuff on them, if I remember correctly. Anyway, so you can always place, some collectibles or something like that on there. I might have put that collectible chart somewhere in the house. I know I did try to at one point. Actually, let me just check. Yes, it's down here. So yes, my Sims have a sort of secret lair type of place because of my scientist sim, and I was thinking of doing the Strangerville storyline next. So I have plenty of logic building items and sort of analyzers and stuff like that. And then they have the recycling machine and the weather changer. Um, None of the appliances in this house have been upgraded, but in my Sims last house, most of them were upgraded, pretty much 100%. So I did decide to leave them unupgraded before I uploaded this house to the gallery, just in case you wanted to do that yourself, as part of the storyline you're going with or what have you. So yes, here's also the alien contacting computer. I decided not to put the satellite dish in this house. Oh my god, can I not click on that? I haven't 100% playtested this house yet, so certain things might change a little bit. What if I pull this out a bit? Can you then? I can't click on it. Oh my god, maybe it's the sim. I don't know. I will move that computer, I promise. I will move it so that that works. I might... Actually, let me just switch that around now. Because that's just decorative. Oh, god. Oh, oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know what happened there. Oh, it's because of the chair. Wow, that was great. Anyway, where did that go? Where did that table just go? Oh my god. What is going on? Okay. Oh my god, it's gotten rid of my table. Oh well, you might have a ghost table somewhere on this lot. So that's interesting. Anyway, let's pretend like that's not something that just happened and move on. Anyway, so now that is functional, I'm sure. I think it's just my sim might be having a bit of a problem right now. My game is... Oh, yeah, my game just froze. Hang on, I will be right back. I am back. Sorry about that. This last game patch has been just trashing my game. I'm recording this in June 2020. Just in case. Oh, there's the invisible table. I will delete that. There we go. Anyway, let me just do a quick save. This has nothing to do with the house, this crashing. It happened in my old house. It happens when I'm on community lots. It's really been since the patch. So hopefully, they fix that. Anyway, so yes, we were in this. Yes. They also have that little archive machine, just because I thought, that might be useful. Because you also get money for doing this. So, although if you can afford a 700,000 simoleon house, then I don't think you need to worry about money. But anyway, I think it's still a good way of making money sort of passively. Anyway, then moving up, there's the sort of sleuthing room, as I like to call it. I think it's really cool that this table is animated. I think that's pretty cool. I wonder if the other one is too. No, it doesn't have anything on it. I'm stupid. Anyway, so they have the spine table. Because, as said, I want to do the Strangerville thing. So that might be more niche when it comes to people's needs for it. So if you don't want this whole thing, you can very easily just delete that. Oh, that's showing on this floor now. The the aircon, that's interesting. Okay. Anyway, and then there's the final bathroom on this floor. Why are you eating down there? There are 2 islands upstairs. Why are you doing that? You're so stupid. What's his name? Zerba. You're an idiot, Zerba. I don't know what's wrong with my Sims. They're so stupid. Anyway, this bathroom down here also has a his and hers because there's sort of, at least in my game, this is where a lot of my adult Sims are living on this floor. Zerba's living on this floor, and his brother Woody and Woody's husband Bobby are in this room. So I thought, adults might want separate sinks or something. I don't know. Anyway, then this bedroom, I had such a hard time furnishing this. I had to reference so many Pinterest pictures for this. I was going for that like Pinterest girls' room Tumblr aesthetic thing with this. My bedroom personally doesn't really match this, so I'm not that experienced with it. But I like to think I at least kind of sort of hit the nail on the head with it. There's plenty of cupboard space for all of her fabulous clothing. um, and a pink laptop. I thought that was a necessity. And then I built this little custom bed thing again. It's kind of like once I got started on that, I couldn't stop. So anyway, I will have my toddler Chandra move in here when she's a bit older. Then moving on across the hall is Zerba's room. Now, this room is very extra. And this was deliberate. I really wanted a sort of movie stuff, Moschino stuff. Movie stuff. That's not the name of the Sims 4 pack. It's Get Famous. I really wanted to incorporate that into the house somewhere because it's so kitschy. It's so ugly. I love it. It's ugly and beautiful and just everything at the same time. So anyway, I really wanted this in the house somewhere with an enormous TV. I think I have the same TV somewhere else in the house, but scaled down to a normal size. Anyway, and I decided to give it to my pro sportsman, Zerba. He is level 10 of the athletic career. He is a Hall of Famer. He achieved that before I got Get Famous, so he has no fame points, although I was thinking of making him famous. He's actually already a grandfather, even though he looks like a teenager. Which I find really funny. My Sim's aging is really strange. Because I sent his son, oh, what's your name? What's your name? Pencil. I sent him to university, and I didn't know that in The Sims 4, Sims age in university, because in The Sims 3 they didn't, and I liked that. So I noticed halfway through that everyone was getting old and dying. So I had to go back a save, and then I had to turn off aging for a little bit. And so a lot of things happened, and a lot of them are just strange ages. But I promise I don't cheat with age and stuff like that. Only with the dog. They have an immortal dog. He's never going to die. Because, who is it? Woody. He keeps feeding him those vet treat things that age him down. So, yeah, I don't want to have to buy another dog because my Sims mourn for days and it's so tedious. Anyway, back onto the actual house. um, Moving in through Zerba's room, he has his own massage sort of area and a sauna and his own little gym, even though they have one in the garage as well. These were my final touches to the house, and I thought that they were appropriate because he is a Hall of Famer and he deserves it. So if you think that it's stupid, which you have every right to because it is, um, then that's fine, and you can get rid of it. uh, but yes. So then moving on next door is Woody's bedroom, and this is I really like this room. I think it's quite nice with the dark wood tones and the sort of. It's kind of matchy matchy, but I think it's, separate enough that it gets away with it. I did try to put a custom headboard thing on this bed, but I really didn't like any of them the way that I was doing it. I don't know, I must have been doing something wrong. But so yes, if you don't like that bed because it basically looks like it's just a mattress that's been pushed up against the wall, then I get that, and you could of course change it. So yes, they have a nice big wardrobe, and also a piano because Woody is my musician sim. He is level 10. I've been playing with him for a very long time. He's one of my favorite Sims. Um, he's actually one of the only ones that is not even a little bit alien, which is very strange for me because I started off with a completely green Sim and I basically bred that out of him. Unintentionally, I wanted everyone to stay green, but anyway, so here's his little music award thing. Oh, it has an aura. Enable that. Yes, energized is always good. So yes, and then the last room on this floor. Is it the last room? No, there's one more. Anyway, the second to last room on this floor is the sort of gaming room. I found out that this was in the game, and I absolutely needed it. I think that is so cool. I'm actually gonna go right now. Oh yes. It's enormous, but anyway, I'll just pause that. So yes, this is basically just my sort of miscellaneous room where I have fun activities and a little bit of skill building. You know, I need the podium thing for my lawyer sim and for, any other sims that I want to have debate with him because it's always good. And then for sims that I want to have the gaming skill, video gaming skill, that's always good. And then for singing, because Woody and his son are both improving their singing skills so that they can play the piano and sing at the same time, because I think that's cool that they added that. And so I really wanted that. Anyway, and then there's a little, sitting nook in the corner. Everything is purple. That was not intentional. It was actually more purple at one point, and then I decided it was ridiculous. I don't know why this room came out so ugly. It's really my miscellaneous room. So if you don't like this, which I will fully understand, and you can let me know in the comments just how ugly this room is, because I agree with you, then you can change it, of course. And actually, I think I might put a little plant over there, just because that's disturbing me. That's too empty. I can't have empty corners in my builds. I always have to put something. So I will just... Oh, it's not on again. Let me just... There we go. That's empty. There you go. There we go. So, yes. Then I also have this because I wanted to have a what's it called? A style influencer. Yeah, I was thinking of making Chantra a style influencer and her brother Tablecloth. I was thinking of maybe making him do the military career with the Strangerville storyline. So, yes. And then the final room, I promise, this has been a long video, but this is the final room, is basically the room I didn't know what to do with. I planned the layout out before I knew what I was going to do with each room. I basically just counted how many bedrooms I needed, and then I ended up with a few spare rooms. So I decided to turn it into a home cinema because I bought the movie stuff pack, and I thought it'd be cool if I had an excuse to use the enormous cinema kind of style TV. So, no, you're not going to watch it. Sorry. Anyway, so I just lined it like they do in actual cinemas, or at least where I live. They sometimes have like big posters along the walls, or if it's, like a sort of art house style cinema, then they might have collectibles on the walls, like collector's edition paintings or movie props that they have framed or something like that. So I just did that with basically all the variations of the same painting. And yeah, it looks a bit odd having such a residential style door and then this like really sort of movie house looking room, but I didn't really know what to do about that. So, it is what it is. Anyway, so that pretty much concludes this build walkthrough. Yeah, I will be uploading this to the gallery at the same time as I upload this video. So, I don't know if you can put video links on the gallery, but I will try to, so that people get sort of the explanation behind the house as well. because I think it might be necessary, because some of the areas of the house don't make a lot of sense, I feel. um, oh, and also, by the way, I just realized I put that bush everywhere that you can um, go to the toilet in. So, yes, can you also woohoo in it? Yes, you can. That's disturbing. Anyway, I might have scaled it down, so it might look a bit weird. But anyway, yes, that concludes this video. If you watched this far, then thank you so much. I really appreciate that. If you liked, the house or my stupid commentary, then feel free to leave a like. If you want me to make more content like this in future with, other builds I've done, not specifically for legacy challenges, then let me know in the comments. And yeah, uh, if I do end up making more content like this, which I don't know, I might, if that's what you might want, then you can subscribe as well, so that you know when I upload. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.